Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I wanted to show you how I created this gorgeous card here. Look how those vines and flowers just hang off of that brick wall. How amazing does that look? So rustic-y, but also so elegant and beautiful. This card could be used for so many different occasions. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what occasion you would use this card for the most. I'm thinking mine would be wedding, but also you could do anniversary, thinking of you, birthday, I don't know, so many different things. You could also change up the ribbon to do so many occasions too, but I think that gold satin ribbon just offers so much elegance and beauty to that. So I'm going to show you how I did this. I used the Thoughts and Prayers stamp set, which this is one of the oldest stamp sets I have. It is still in the old case. And it is a wood mount block stamp. So it's actually mounted on both sides. You can see it's well loved because it's very inky and dirty. But I'm actually going to be using the branch. So there's the tree and then there's also the branch. And I'm going to be using the branch and I'm just going to use my markers. I'm using both Elegant Eggplant and Mossy Meadow to color the branches and to color the flowers. So that's how I'm going to get that two-tone look, is by not actually using an ink pad, but to just color directly with the markers onto the stamp. And I always use the fatter tip marker, like the more marker tip, rather than the pen tip on the other side. If you use the pen tip, you might be here all day. So I actually use the marker tip. And I'm just going to be stamping this onto a piece of very vanilla cardstock that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So let's get started. Okay, and now that I have it all colored, I'm just going to stamp it with the branch hanging down, right down onto the card, and then I'm actually going to do it again, just a little higher up, just like that. I want that two-tone look of the colors there so that it looks, you know, one looks a little darker, one looks a little lighter. One other tip about coloring, especially when you're coloring a big image like this, is if you think that it might be dry by the time you're done, you can always huff on it a little bit, and that's not blowing on it and drying it up. It's actually just doing a little like, you know, like as if you had something in your mouth that was really hot and you're trying to cool it off. So you can always huff on it. That re-moistens the ink, and then it gives you a nice brighter image in case you think it might have dried. So here I'll just huff on it and stamp this down. And again, I'm gonna stamp off just a little bit, and maybe even a little to the side. You can add a few little branches in there and see how you want to use it. So now that we have our stamped image on there, we're actually going to use the new brick wall embossing folder. So I'm just going to place this in the embossing folder, and I will tell you, I've done it both ways actually. So this one here is actually, you can see it a little bit, the grout, I guess you would say, of the brick wall is actually the indented part. So the bricks are popping up and the grout is indented. I did another one where the grout is actually popping up, and the only thing about this, I really liked the way this looked. Sorry, I guess it goes that way because the branches, you could always have it almost like a trellis where it's growing up, but it could go down as well. But with this one, I found that it actually picked up the ink a lot more in different spots because it was flatter. So I didn't really care for that look as much whenever I took my sponge dauber and used that over top. So whichever way you prefer, just make sure you're putting it in your embossing folder correctly. If you want to do it with the grout pressed in, you'll want to make sure that the image is, like, you'll touch it and you'll see that the brick is popped up. So that means we want it to go face down, so that we want the brick to actually be pressing into our image, just like that. And then we'll run this through the Big Shot. So here we have it from the Big Shot, and we'll just open it up, and now you can see how it has that amazing texture to it. You probably could see it a little bit better like that, which is the back side. You can see that grout is indented in, so it's popping out the back. but then those bricks are popping out the front. And now we're just going to take soft suede and So Saffron and our sponge daubers. You know how much I love my sponge daubers. And you really don't even need a ton of ink. You just need a very, very small amount. So just a real light tap, and you probably don't even need to go back on it. And just lightly brush it over your image, just ever so lightly, just almost like picking it up and laying it back down, and just sort of randomly touching it, because you really don't want a lot of color. You just want that little, like almost like a dirty look there. And then we'll do that with our soft suede as well. And once you have the achieved look that you want, then you're all done. And now you can mount this to your card, add some ribbon, add a greeting. You could do so much with this beautiful, beautiful look. So here's the final sample, and of course I'll do photos of these will be on my blog, so be sure to check that out at laurasstamppad.com. And until next time, happy stamping. Bye-bye.